We're going to start with Derek King, a guy that's transferring from Houston to Miami, to the U, as they say. And, I mean, look at these numbers, Seymour. At first glance, let's just go numbers-wise. He's incredibly productive.
Well, I'll start with the bottom number. 6 interceptions with all those touchdowns shows you that this guy protects the football, and that's the number one job of a quarterback. And I love this picture because literally he's running out of his socks, and that's what he does when he faces opposing defenses. This guy's got a lot of juice on the field.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of juice in his arm, too. I was committed to TCU. That's when I first saw him, and they wanted him to change positions. And he was like, no, I'm going to Houston to play quarterback. And you see him here, him recognizing what Rice is trying to do and then throwing his wide receiver across the field. We talk about this a lot, throwing him across the field to be able to score this touchdown.
Pre-snap read, Michael. He knew he got a winnable matchup. His slot matched up with a safety, no chance. You see him right there. The receiver able to stack the safety quickly, get him in a trail position. And then what I like is after he identifies this, he feels the pressure, holds him, good eye mechanics there. Look at this ball where it lands, opposite hash. I mean, it was squarely on the hash, so his location was great with the football, showing you that he's thinking on his feet, but he has great poise in the pocket.
Yeah, I love that poise in the pocket. I think, man, I tell you what, I bet TCU wishes they had him right now because he would have been really helpful a year ago when they were still trying to figure out what to do at the quarterback spot. But I love he didn't throw him too far over, right? He didn't bring the other defender into effect. He didn't throw him all the way to the numbers like we talked about with Jalen Hurts early, in the 2019 season. The other thing for me, I love this, and I love a guy that can punch it in. And we're going to get to Rhett Lashley a little bit, who's their new offensive coordinator at the U. But I love this look at the linebackers. Watch them suck up. You got to respect his running ability and the run game in general. And then look at the way he punches this ball in.
And before he punches it, the ability to process the information, right? He's keying the linebacker, middle of your screen there. Step up. All right, I can drive this slant right behind him. It is the void that is left when he comes up, and the receiver does a good job crossing the face of the defensive back. And then, as you said, yes, he drives that ball in there, puts it on him like now.
Yeah, and then here you get the evade, right? You want to see a guy that can move. What's the value of being such a super athlete if the coaches aren't going to let you move? And I think Lashley understands that. And look at the spin out. This is, I mean, I always say this looks like a drill, but does this not look like a drill for quarterbacks?
It sure does. And, this is where his natural ability takes over. And this is what makes defenses most fearful. If you ask the defenders he's playing against, they want to keep him in the pocket, make him play from the pocket. It's when things break down and this guy starts to freelance is where he gets the most stress on you and the most stress on the defensive coordinators as well.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I want to do, these next two clips for me are about toughness, right? And people are going to talk about the way that he left Houston, and even though he said he was going to come back, he left. I don't question this guy's harder ability when it comes on the football field. I think he found an opportunity in a situation that probably is better for him, and he's going to take it. And anytime I see a quarterback willing to give it up like this to get into the end zone, I'm all for it because we've seen plenty of quarterbacks opt out and make that business decision.
Sure, and I like that you mentioned the toughness and grit. I like the decisiveness, though. Nothing's there. I got to get this on my own. And he decided quickly and then able to make a play.
Yeah, and this is a combination of the passing that we've seen, a guy that threw for 36 touchdowns, and then we also saw him run for just under 700 yards, 600 and something yards in 2018. And we're talking about 2018, not 2019, because 2019 is the season that he kind of a lost season for him where he sat out. But look at the way he finishes this run. I mean, let's go. This is a guy that I think the locker room is going to gravitate towards.
No doubt about it. And let's talk about why the play works. Why does he win? Because he gets a matchup, man-to-man coverage, defensive backs return. But as you indicated, those two last clips, it talks about the kid's toughness. He knows he's one-on-one with a defensive back. He's got to win the battle. He's not 6'4", 230. He's not the prototype in terms of his stature. He's 5'11", just over 2 bills, but the guy plays big. And that's what Manny likes. He wants that attitude. He wants that swagger to get that back down in Coral Gables.